Ever read something, maybe like a short poem or something, and it just like stays with you for like way longer than you'd expect?
Oh, totally. It's amazing how like a few well-chosen words can just, really hit you right in the feels.
Right. And that is exactly what we were talking about today as we do a deep dive on the poem The Death of a Puppy by Elizabeth Bishop.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those poems that, well, it's really short, but it packs a serious emotional punch, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Bishop, she really knew how to make every single word count.
Seriously.
Okay.
It's okay. So to kick things off, I'm just going to read the poem aloud, and then we'll, kind of unpack it a bit.
Sounds good.
Reads The Death of a Puppy by Elizabeth Bishop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, what is it about puppies that just, I don't know.
They just get you right in the heart.
Totally. Like, on the one hand, the poem is incredibly straightforward, right? Like, new puppy, sudden illness, and then
Yeah.
it's so sad.
It is really sad. It's like, it's such a simple story. But the way Bishop uses language, it's like, it goes beyond just being sad. It's like it gets at something much, much deeper about loss.
Okay, so let's talk about that, about the language. What really jumped out at you?
Well, I mean, on the surface, the language seems really, simple, like everyday words. But if you really sit with it, words like rupture and lie down forever, even just like stiffening.
Oh,
right?
You're so heavy.
It just have this weight to them, like this sense of finality that's just, I don't know, awful. It's awful.
It's heartbreaking. And there's this other thing I noticed too, which is like, you have this like pure joy of the puppy, right? Like learning to use the newspaper, trying to be a good dog, and then this really like harsh reality of her condition.
Oh, yeah. That's such a good point. And that part where it's like, as we tease her with play, blood was filling her skin. It's like the family is totally oblivious to like how serious it is, which I mean, just makes it even more, I don't know.
Oh, it's just like
even more tragic.
It's so relatable too, unfortunately. I mean, anyone who's ever, loved and lost a pet, you just, that feeling, that gut punch of helplessness.
Ugh. And then Bishop she captures it perfectly. Just one line, like every time, it gets me. Though surrounded by love that would have upheld her, nevertheless, she sank and stiffening, disappeared. It's like, doesn't matter how much you love something, sometimes it's just not enough, death. It has a way of doing that.
It's devastating. Ugh. And then that very last image, with the puppy's body in the newspaper, and it just says, good dog.
Right.
Like, what does that even mean?
I know. It's like it could be so many things, right? It could be the family just trying to like comfort themselves.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like the dog's last act of obedience. Or is it this like reminder of those simple joys that are, just gone now? I think Bishop leaves it open to interpretation. And honestly, that just makes it even more, I don't know.
More impactful. So where does that leave us? Like, what do we take away from a poem like this?
Well, for me, I think it really forces us to like sit with some really, really big, often kind of scary ideas, like the randomness of life and death, and how even the smallest creatures, like a puppy, can leave these like huge holes in our hearts.
And how even with all that, like even in the face of that, love persists.
Yeah.
It's a tough read, this poem, but God, it really sticks with you.
Totally. And you know what else I think? I think it reminds us to like really cherish every moment, big or small.
Because you never know when they might be gone.
Exactly.
Think about that for a minute. Think about those things, those beings that have like really made a mark on your life. I feel like this poem, it's like this, I don't know, like this poignant little nudge to like really cherish them,
Yeah.